I am Harold, son of Cnut the Great, ruler of England, Denmark, and Norway. My father's death in 1035 threw our kingdoms into chaos. What followed was a struggle not only for power but for survival. These years, from 1035 to 1040, defined my life and legacy. History may remember me as Harold Harefoot, a name given for my swiftness in the hunt, but I was far more than a hunter. I was a king who seized the throne amidst a storm of rivals and intrigue. When my father passed, the question of succession tore the realm in two. My half-brother, Harthacnut, was the legitimate heir in the eyes of many, especially the powerful nobles of Wessex who followed our stepmother, Emma of Normandy. But Harthacnut was across the North Sea, consumed with protecting Denmark against enemies on the continent. England was left vulnerable, divided, and in desperate need of leadership. I saw my chance. Born of my father's union with Ælfgifu of Northampton, I was not the first choice for many of the southern lords. To them, I was less legitimate, a son of Danish blood but not Norman alliances. Yet in the north, I found support. The noblemen of Mercia and Northumbria backed me, seeing me as the true heir to my father's Scandinavian legacy. In those uncertain days, I did not wait for the crown to fall into my hands. I took it. The Witan, the Council of Nobles, declared me regent while Harthacnut remained in Denmark. But I was no mere placeholder. I moved quickly, solidifying alliances, rewarding loyalty, and eliminating opposition. My rivals saw me as a hunter, a man of action rather than diplomacy, and I used their underestimation of me to my advantage. By 1037, I had won enough support to be declared king, and I was crowned Harold, King of England. The South resisted my rule, led by Emma and her relentless ambitions for Harthacnut. Worse, her other sons, Edward and Alfred, who were born of her earlier marriage to Athelred the Unready, sought to reclaim England for the House of Wessex. In 1036, Alfred landed on English shores, a move likely orchestrated by Emma. He was captured by my supporters and blinded, a brutal act that cost him his life. Though I did not command this atrocity, the blame fell upon me. It is a stain on my reign that I cannot deny. Such are the burdens of kingship. You are held accountable not only for your actions, but for the actions of those who fight in your name. Despite these struggles, I maintained order in England. My reign was brief, but not without accomplishments. I protected my people from the external threats that plagued my father's later years. I governed as a pragmatic ruler, focusing on stability over glory. Yet I was always looking over my shoulder, knowing Harthacnut's return would bring war. By 1039, the weight of rule began to take its toll. My health faltered, and I felt the shadow of death creeping closer. As I lay dying in 1040, I reflected on my journey. I had risen from being the overlooked son of a mighty king to ruling England. I had fought off the schemes of a powerful queen and the ambitions of a rival heir. And though my reign was short, I had kept England intact during a time of great uncertainty. Harthacnut would return to claim the throne, and I knew he would seek vengeance. Our father's dream of a united empire had turned into a battlefield between his sons. Yet, as my life ebbed away, I bore no hatred toward him. He was my brother, and we were both shaped by the same legacy, a legacy of power, conquest, and the burden of a king's bloodline. I do not know how history will judge me. Will I be remembered as the cunning Harold Harefoot who outpaced his rivals, or as a mere usurper who ruled briefly and died too soon? Perhaps it does not matter. What matters is that I ruled. I claimed the throne when no one else dared, and I held it until the end. That, I believe, is enough.